LeRoy Keyes is known as one of Purdue's greatest athletes. During his tenure at Purdue, he led the Boilermakers to an impressive 25-6 record from 1966 to 1968. He's a former two-time All-American and Big Ten Most Valuable Player. His second-place finish for the 1968 Heisman Trophy landed him a first-round draft pick. Despite all of his great achievements, he grew up as a humble native of Newport News, Virginia.
Growing up was always a day of doing something positive, whether we were jumping the canal, making bow and arrows, slingshots, making skateboards out of old skates. We found ways just to indulge ourselves in the positive thing. And don't get me wrong, we had our ups and downs. We found ways to be mischievous, but we had great role models. And I think some of the young guys in my neighborhood who were good in athletics kind of took LeRoy under their wings and said, you know, you have some skills. God has been good to you. And if we take and work with you and harness this energy, you can go far.
You were given an offer by Notre Dame and Army, and you took your first plane ride to West Lafayette, Indiana. What happened when you got off that airplane?
Wow. It was a no-brainer, but getting off the plane, I was a little scared. But once I got my feet on the ground and saw the beauty of the campus, the genuineness and how people treated recruits, because they didn't know me from Adam and Eve, but the bottom line, they said, hey, we trust that you could be a pretty good football player, and hope we didn't make a mistake.
What motivated you to succeed? I mean, not only on the field, but off?
Being that my uncle was the first one from my family to graduate from college, I would have been the second one to graduate from college. Knowing that my mom hadn't graduated, my father hadn't graduated, my sister was 2 years older than I am, hadn't graduated from college. I felt like it was an honor to be the torchbearer for my family, first of all. But I always felt that I had a commitment to a lot of the young folks in my neighborhood in Newport News to say that LeRoy is going to go off to Purdue University. And so I felt I had not the burden, but the ownership of delivering a prized product back to my hometown. That when I went home, whether they had LeRoy Keyes Day or whatever you want to call it, I wanted to make sure that those young kids knew that hard work does pay off. Being unknown doesn't mean that you are not known. And just go out there and do the best you can and take that God-given talent and just show the world what you're capable of doing.
LeRoy has taken his talent and has given back to the university that he loves. He returns to Purdue after being a successful professional athlete and coach to mentor current student athletes. LeRoy believes that anyone can learn from life experiences and feels that he is fortunate to be able to teach students some of his life lessons.
I said, you guys make my waking up every day worthwhile, because I know I can come in and give you some insight that you might not have, that your mother and father might not have shared with you, or your uncle, brothers. And that's all it's about, that we want to share this wealth of knowledge, pass it on down the road, and hopefully when you get out and you work with young people, you work with old people, because we're all going to get old. And I said, you will know how to have some compassion, some true genuineness as you relate to people. If am I talking to David Teague, am I talking to Dustin Keller, am I talking to Curtis Painter, make them a better person when they leave Purdue, then I've done all that the good Lord wants me to do here.
You know, I came across LeRoy many occasions, and he just always has good advice for me. You know, how to conduct myself, you know, as a leader on the court, you know, how to carry myself as a young African male off the court as well.
Well, I think it's just kind of, he's told me I can stop in and talk to him anytime I have problems, anything like that, and I kind of have taken full advantage of that.
He shows me that with success, you don't always have to be a jerk. You know, you don't have to fit, you know, the jock mode so much. So, you know, I just take all the advice that he gives and just soak it in.
Young people, just like I was once upon a time, someone took me under the wing and said, don't do that. I didn't ask why not do it. They must have had a reason for telling me, because they saw me either going the wrong way, and that's not the way they wanted me to go.
LeRoy has been able to change his life direction through past mentors, and after seeing the impact of what others have done for him, he in turn mentors current student athletes. No doubt LeRoy will leave his mark on Purdue athletics, but also on the students who have personally felt the impact of his character and wish to follow in his footsteps.
LeRoy's legacy to people outside of Purdue, outside of just the whole entire, whether it's athletic department or other people at Purdue, will probably just be as the best running back Purdue's ever seen. But people that actually know him at Purdue, probably like for me, for instance, see him just as a great mentor and just a nice guy that's there, that's just a genuine guy that will do anything for you.
His personality stretches far beyond, just athletics. I think, he embraces everyone as a whole, as equals. I mean, he doesn't look down on anyone, doesn't frown upon, mistakes. He just always has words of encouragement, and does everything in his power to uplift everyone around him. I think, people with great personalities like that really go far in the world. I think it really goes beyond athletics.
Yeah, if my tombstone had to say anything, is that he cared, he was genuine, and he gave up all of his God-given talent to this world, in this realm. And hopefully wherever he goes, whether it's heaven or wherever, we don't know where he's going to go, but we hope it's heaven, that he can go up there and continue to spread the good words about being who you are and never doubting what you can't do.